Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Touring Rathnir series. I am here with Wondered, and we're going to be touring Valoore today. And I'm going to hand it over to you, Wondered. Who are you when it comes to your country?
So, hello everyone. I am Wondered or Wondered Bug, whatever you want to call me, and I am a leader in the nation of Valoore, near in Sparwood, close to Tortuga. If you want to find us on the map, but we specialize in many different things, and we do like cool events with our culture and everything. Now I'll start with my government style. My government style is like a democracy slash monarchy. We have, but it is a diarchy. So we have two people at the top. It is me, Wondered, and then the other person is Leaf. Then we have under us an advisor slash how do I say this? A person that runs stuff if we are not there. They're basically like a replacement, or they work with us a lot, and they are right under us. And then under that we have a voter a role for citizens that can vote, and those citizens are trusted by the government, and they would have to go through a test if they would like to vote in elections for the Minister of Culture, the Minister of Diplomacy, Infrastructure, and all those ministers. They would need to pass the test. If they don't pass the test, they are just a normal citizen, but they can always retry for the test if they want.
All right, and then let's head over to, I guess, activity now. So how active would you say it is? And then also, if you want to give maybe like 3 of your most active towns names and maybe their leader and like something special about them.
Well, our towns are very active. It's just we have many different people from different time zones, so you may not see a lot of people depending on what time zone you are. Like, let's say you are NA, a lot of our players are EU and AU, which makes it so that if you are NA, you will most likely not see people during the night or the morning. But during the day, you'd probably see most Valoore citizens. And we have around, I would say, 30 to 40 active players that log on at least once a week. And our VC culture is very active with an average 5 to 10 people in VC, especially during NA nighttime, like near 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. Near that is where we are most active. And our 3 most active cities are probably Xianwen, Preador, and probably, I'm going to say, Valenchar. Those 3 are probably the most active. And fun fact about the person in Xianwen, they're also their name is Leaf, and they're the other person in charge. They were recently added to Valoore, and they are doing a really good job over there with Xianwen.
All right, and then what is the capital? Also,
our capital, we don't have a capital. We want to be unique, so we decided to not have a capital. Our old capital is Serafate. It is the most built up, I would say, but it has sadly has no active players almost. You may see 1 or 2 people around every week, but not many people live there anymore, as the leader isn't doing too much to save that city necessarily in population.
all right, and then we'll hop over to economy now. So that's going to be what is like the jobs, and is there active jobs and all that stuff, basically just ways to make money.
All right. Well, we do have some jobs. We usually go around in VC when our VCs are up, we go and ask around if anyone would like to take a job. We have a lot of cactus farms in almost, I would say, around at least 50% of the cities. We have either a small cactus farm or a large one. Like there's a large one in Serafate and Valenshire. And our XP is like we have a lot of XP, so we can make sets extremely quickly. And we have many markets too. We have one in Freador, we have one in Serafate, we have a small one in Aruja, and we also have, I think, a small one in Xianwen. We have, I am the number 3 spot in Rathnir right now with $15 million, so I can easily spend that on the nation if I wanted to. And we all collectively, with the nation, we rounded it up to around $25 million. We can spend on many different things, and the economy is ever so slightly growing every month, and we are doing very well in terms of economy.
All right, nice. And then we'll go over to military now. So this is how many people is in your military specifically, not necessarily alliances and stuff. We'll cover that in the next section.
Just my nation.
Yes, yeah.
So surprisingly, we do have a lot of actually fairly good PvPers. Most nations may have like 5 or 10 people in their military, but we have around 13 with 3 S tiers and 9 B tiers. But the S tiers are actually like really good. So there's me, Derpy, and Shrimp. They don't play too much, but they're really good, and they basically carry the military. With most other militaries not having maybe even a S tier. But yeah, I think our military is fairly good. But of course, with right now in Rathnir, usually it's the Merc meta, which personally I don't like, but it is what it is.
So does your military get any experience out on the field at all, or is it just fairly neutral? I mean, fairly passive?
We are fairly passive. We've had a few, like our S tiers have went to a few fights, and they got a few kills. We do have a B tier that went and got 3 kills, which was amazing, and they didn't die, so that was amazing. And we have like maybe a good 50% of our B tiers have went to a fight at least, and we do some simulation war sims sometimes on the weekends, but it's hard for especially just me to do them. I've been looking for trainers, but it's quite hard.
All right, and then we'll head over to diplomacy now. So this will be covering your allies, and then if you don't mind, it's your call on this. If you want to maybe say some countries that you're not too happy with or don't have good relationships with, but that's your call.
All right. Well, we are in an alliance called Monolith. They are like, they have Yimu Aldal, Tortuga, Bergamir, us. Well, we used to have the Triumvirate of Plagos and Sparwood, but they left very recently, actually. And we have KOC. We have a lot of different nations that are a small alliance, and we have a lot of NAPs with countries surrounding us. Like we have an NAP with the Magisterium, Azuria. We have like MDPs with like Centaurus, and let me just check the list here. We do have a list. We have like NAPs with Azuria, Northturn, Magisterium, Eisenland, Methusu, Sriracha. I think that's a recent one that we got an NAP with. Scaliga, Alderash. We also have, we are closely allied with Delaria. Delaria is a very good nation for us. We think that Delaria could be probably our most trustworthy ally at the moment. And that's basically it with our diplomacy. We have one nation that we are against, or we don't have good relations, and that's right now GCL, but they seem to be improving after the war ended.
All right. And then I'm going to hand it over to the big section, which is the history. You can cover whatever you want here. It doesn't have to be everything. You can just cover important stuff or whatever you want to cover. I'm going to leave it to you. Go for it.
All right, now the history is quite long. So if any of you have never heard of the IEU, it was the Viadoxa and Tovarisha in a union that controlled a small piece of territory called Paradise. Now, we stumbled upon this war, and we were like, because Paradise was revolting, and they were going to have a war. Paradise, we contacted Paradise, and we said that we'd help if we would have some land. They agreed to that, and after the war, we got a small piece of land. Then, after the IEU war, the Empire Sertaria started coming, growing and becoming a huge empire. Probably one of the biggest that has ever touched Rathnir, but it fell pretty fast. But we merged into Saragon, where there was our old leader, Crimson Dragon, with Sawyers and me, a triumvirate of Valagron that we made, and we stuck with that name for a long time. We purchased many lands, and including Xianmen, which was recent, and we became really big in the Sparwood stage. I would say we were one of the strongest, especially economically, in Sparwood, and we made many allies. But recently, maybe maybe 2 weeks ago, Crimson Dragon, our leader, was pretty unfit to rule now. So we decided, and we never changed our government style in a long time. So we decided to reform and coup him. He was fine with it. He was probably going to quit the server either way, and we decided to reform the country, and it's now going very well. And kind of brings us back to here, but we are doing extremely well now that we have reformed the nation.
All right, and then one thing I actually forgot to put on our list was religion. So is there a big religion that's followed, and then is there any religious sites in the country?
We have some mysterious religious sites like near our town named Volcrum. We have a small church, kind of ruined, but there is a religious sign that we think is religious, but we've never been able to track down what it was. It was probably near the start of the server, when the server was up, maybe 2020, 2021. But we haven't figured out what that was, and we've left it there so that it could be examined, but we've never found anything. And we also have a few religions, but we are free to any religion to come over and celebrate their festivals or whatever they want in Valoore. We'd be happy to have you here, and you could even contact us for small events for your religion.
All right.
But that's basically all for religion.
All right, and then finally, is there any just random facts that we did not cover at all yet that you want to say on, or is there nothing?
There aren't many facts to. Well, I mean, there's a funny. In Volcrum, we have a huge patch of iron that stretched maybe 500, 600 blocks. And we've made around almost a mill out of all the iron, I would say. We could have probably made 4 beacons out of all the iron that we mined, and it was crazy. I don't even know if we're done mining it. Like, it may be still going right now. It's really funny.
Wow, that's interesting. And then anything you want to say? Any conclusions at all for you?
Not really. You'd be able to see all the infrastructure that we've built during the tour. That's basically it, though.
Yep. All right. Thank you for the interview. Can't wait to see what everyone thinks of the country. And thanks once again for having me here for the interview.
All right. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you.